And look at that. 2024 is over. It's gone. It's in the rearview mirror. I can absolutely say that this has been the hardest, most difficult, and probably one of the best years I have ever had. But today, we're going to go through and review the ups, the downs, how I got here, and then set some goals, some plans for 2025 that could try to make it an even better year than this one. And it's going to be a little more personal. See, I'm doing a face scan. I don't really do this except on like streams. Let's get this done. This period of time was considered my like warm-up period. I had issues with my content before, and I just was in my head, and there was like a lot of spaces in between content just getting out. And so I wanted to create a habit, and I recommend this for anyone else trying to get into these kinds of things, where I would set a time, and I'd pick the number of days, and I would just work on like as if I was streaming. I would go in and I'd actually click record on OBS instead of stream. And I would record myself as if it were a stream. And I would do that for these days. And whether it was working on game jams, a video, a game. I started a new game idea with my brother. And I would do that during this time. And it resulted in one video. It wasn't that great, but I got it done. And that's what matters more, because you're not going to be great when you start. I mean, I know I have a lot of room to grow, and that's actually exciting. All right, so this is the time that if we were to compare it to a roguelike, this was probably like my best run. April through mid-July, I started streaming. I was very consistent. I very rarely canceled the stream. Really good on my scheduling. I had a really good video. It was on YouTube, like one of my best videos ever, even though I was like, I didn't like it as much. I had on my head, but I built a constraint and I got it done. And it wasn't perfect. And I was really focusing on done is better than perfect, which I'm going to try to carry on to 2025. I was really good. Things were great. Streams were going. Building the game made so much progress. But then mid-July is roughly where the run ended. So my significant other had an opportunity that was out of state. And I was full-time remote anyway. So it wasn't going to affect me. I said, yes, let's do this. We were kind of wanting to change places anyway, wanted to get out of there anyway. And besides, the basement was extremely cold. I don't know if you saw, but I had like a jacket on all my streams. Figuring out the market, traveling out of state, figure out where I was going to live, the moving, the packing. It was like a marathon of just everything. I couldn't make a video. I couldn't stream. I was just consumed by it. It was very exhausting, very, very stressful. My blood pressure must have been up like crazy. It was insane. It's a very, very busy time. So between trying to just focus on my day job and move, it was rough. It took so long that it wasn't until October until we finally made it here to this new lovely place. And then in October to November, I was working on the studio, getting lights set up. This place was a mess. I think I have a picture I might add here. If I do, I will put it somewhere here. And I was like, okay, I think I did like maybe one stream. Be like, hey, I'm back. Let's do this. Let's get back in our run. Let's start a new run. Let's do this. I was like, let's go. And then I was going from a break like that to this was also a shift that I was in my head a lot. And then like a week later, I was laid off. I took a little bit of time to like get my bearings, but I was also in my head a lot about, well, everything. I even tried a few new things. I want to like evolve my content, want to create my style, and I was getting stuck in my head so much, and I was allowing perfectionism to like paralyze me, which had happened before. But I think this, on top of all the other things going on, really kept being like a wall that I kept trying to brute force past. And sometimes you just gotta take time. I was excited to work on a project with a friend of mine doing a collab. We were gonna do like Dialogic Part 2. Really getting into the deeper parts of it, like the custom dialogues and creating your own style and your locations and animated portraits and things like that. Where they're building a voice mod for Stardew Valley, and it was going to be like, can I build Stardew Valley dialogues in the time it takes for them to beat a run or to like romance a character? And they would do their like voice acted version. But then things happened and we had to change plans, and now that's kind of canceled. They're still making the mod, but things just didn't line up. But as I'm finding my footing again, as I'm trying to break free of these things, I decided to really focus on my channel, on the games, and remembering like the reason why I even started any of this. Oh, hello, everybody. Also, this is Ash, my dog. Which was like, I was watching a bunch of tutorials and doing stuff, and I was like, man, I think I can do this. I think I can make it interesting and exciting. And if I could help just like one person help build their game and make their dreams come true and say, yes, I can build this game now. I was missing this key little piece. Then I've done it. It's not about making a ton of money. It's about, can I actually help people? All right. No more sad stuff. I think it's time we pivot and we talk about 2025. So keeping with the roguelike idea, I want to start a new run. Instead of streaming as much as I did last year with that great run, I'm actually going to be doubling down on my content because, well, content is king. The plan will be to hit my content goals per month, and then when I'm on track, I will then be streaming as like a bonus. And then that'll be a nice little cherry on top. It'll be on game development. It'll be whatever we want. Maybe I'll even figure out how to do member-only streams if we could do like little office hours. I don't know. Those are bonuses and extras once I get the core content back on track and have that scheduled and going out and being good. The other aspect is I really want to be deep diving into creating my style. I've done the same editing style and the same way I make a video for a while now, and I've always wanted to improve that. I know what my end goal is. It will improve. It just, you have to do many steps to get there and many videos, which is totally fine. That's the point. So my content schedule is planned for every Tuesday and Friday, starting with this video, actually. And surprise, Friday will be the part 2 to the Dialogic video that has been highly requested. A lot of stuff I can go deep dive into because I cut a lot of that video the first time I did it because I wanted to get it to be short and sweet. And there was a lot of things that I didn't cover. Also, I'll be experimenting with shorts. I want to make little tips and tricks and just showing off awesome things using shorts on both YouTube and TikTok. That'll help me do more editing, staying up to date, and then just kind of like staying at it so I'm always in the flow of recording and making a video and pushing it out there. And I think having that stress of like a delivery date should help push it, but hopefully not too much. And done is better than perfection. Let's just get it out there. I have a goal for all of Q1 between January to the end of March to create a course on Skillshare and using the platform Mavenseed, which GD Quest, CG Cookie, they all use it. But it helps me put my content on there. But I want to put like very long content out on like courses where it's like part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, because those don't really work on YouTube. And then have a condensed version, like a speed run version of that course on YouTube. So you guys don't have to leave YouTube to always do it, or, you know, because I really enjoy creating the free content that you guys enjoy, but I want to make it interesting and fun and worth it. Like the content has to be worth it. That way you can still get it, and you can decide whether you want the like speedrun version, the no fuss, like breakneck speed of the course, which will have a ton cut out. And then if you want the longer handheld, very deep explanations, you would just go to Skillshare or Mavenseed or wherever and go through that. And then that'll support me either way. Part 1 of my goals. Those who have seen my streams, you know that I've been working on a game called Eudaimonia. I think that's the right way to say it. I'm probably wrong. Which is a psychological horror game focused on mental health. And I want to have my game studio, which I don't think I've ever said it before, but it's Allocate This Studios, actually produce 2 games this year. And then I want to participate in more game jams and release those. And then on top of that, create assets that can help other developers, studios make their games. This part 2, while really big and might seem overwhelming, is actually more of like a stretch goal for my goals, where part 1, the content, is the focus, and then the part 1 content really helps invest in this part of my goals. I think it's very important to be experienced in what it means to actually produce and release a game, so that it only helps the content. I have released and done things to production through my career, but I want to do it from an indie perspective. I wanted to thank all of you for this wild year. your kind comments, your watching my videos, hitting the sub button, following, liking, showing up to my streams, and hanging out in the Discord. You all have made me want to continue doing this and help me to say, yes, this is worth doing. This is helping you. Let's build awesome things in 2025. Stay awesome.